Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. Music stopped. All right, well, 6 o'clock my time. I'll do this for another hour, and then I'll switch to some Gareth Emery. If it even ends up going on a train, which I don't know that it will. Why is there a pipe in here? Oh, yeah, because you're blue. Actually, I think I would like these going this way. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do then. So this is going to make one satellite, or satellite for one rocket silo. Whereas I was designing over here what would work for 4 of them. So we're not going to do that. And I'm pretty confident that I don't trust any of these. I'm rather confident that the resources will hold up. So I'm not going to do any of this either. I forgot to do this. I changed my mind. Oh, this didn't get placed here. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much it there, huh? That's okay. All right, so that's what it's going to take to make a rocket silo. And a satellite. Now, if I can, I am going to integrate this satellite production into here as a single build element. Rather than do this, what if I do this? Have the stacker. All right, I like this idea. So instead of doing the stacker setup like this, so what do I need? I need 5 unloaders, which is the most this design can handle. So let's go back over here where I have some space again. Maybe. So we take this unloader, and we've agreed that we don't always have this here, but we're going to put it here. And then we're going to say iron, copper, coal, oil, water. And then we've got one more, right? But we need a final result, but we're going to put that at the bottom. Copper, iron, coal, oil, water. So we can do 2 oils and a water. Or we can extend it and do 2 oils and 2 waters, which I'm more comfortable with because fluids go so quickly and we can't bring trains in that fast. So if we were to try and extend this, what do I have here? This is all the stuff that I shared. I wanted to make this longer.
So now this is actually a loader, which I don't want. I need it to be an unloader. Oh, that's terrible. We're not going to do that. We're going to have standard unloaders here, but this power pole setup is not going to stick. Iron, copper, coal, oil, water. I'm pretty sure I'm going to want 2 waters. Now that doesn't disrupt much. And then way down there is what's going to end up. Now that means that I need, well, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique items, so I need 5 stacks. So I've got that still. That's fine. Oil, coal is going to come up top. Copper is going to be in the middle. Iron is going to be down here. Autosave, thank you very much. Except for that's not correct. Except for that's not correct. There we go. Oh yeah, I got rubble port coverage I gotta deal with. And you would not reach. You go to here, and you go to there. So I pretty much just have to accept that I'd have to do this. So we're going to customize this, I guess. Wow, I would have thought I would have been requesting those. That's going to literally be the satellite construction unloader for fuel. A unique beast. Actually, is that what that's going to be? No, that's going to be the rocket silo. They're all going to be the same thing. So, yeah. All of these are going to have a unique, they're going to have a group name. So the rocket silo complex that I'm going to build, each one's going to be numbered or lettered. Can't do numbers because it's more than one. So I'm going to use a naming convention like XY1, XY2, Africa 1, Europe 1, Europe 2, Russia 1, Russia 2, China 1, or Asia 1, Asia 2. So instead of this, These are loaders. I need the unloader. So I'm going to have 3 of these unloaders. And then I'm going to have 4 of these fluid unloaders. And I just clobbered those combinators. Water, water, oil, oil, coal, copper, iron. So if this unloads somewhere in here, and it will, and then I'm going to run this down that way, and it's going to pick things up and leave eventually. So there's my right-hand boundary. Right. So I'm going to put some of it off to the side and some of it down below. And at the end of the day, I need to build a satellite, put it on a train. So we're going to take this steel. I'm going to put it right about here, right smack dab into that. And because it's more than 8, I'm going to keep it in a block. If it was only 8, I would spread them all out and feed all the iron in there and then let some of the iron pass through. But that's not in my interest. Also, I don't need all 4 of these coming in. I'm only going to feed it. Am I going to feed it only 1? How many iron sources am I needing? I certainly don't need to feed it 2. So this size that I have here is because I wanted to be able to extend the length of the iron feed. So let's go take a look at that. At what point does my belt fill up? If it's blue belt, right? So I figured at 10 is where it filled up. So I could go 40 and use all 4 belts. But I only need 1 belt if my steel is only 3 high, which it is. So if my steel's only 3 high, then I just need 1 belt of iron here. And I will have quite a bit possibly to flow through if I want it to. Yeah, I deleted the wrong side. Petra, thank you. That's so kind of you. I appreciate it. Narusto, a raid. How cool. How was your stream? Hope you had a good one. Rebuilding with trains. So I am designing a rocket silo complex that is 383 fed. I'm going to have like 10 or 12 of them. 11 at least, I think. And so I'm trying to simplify things and, of course, reuse what I'd already done. But I'm designing stuff. You're using LTN? Yeah, I'm not. I'm using just vanilla trains. And I've had my challenges with the controls. Well, this is steel. So it's a simpler version of this build here. And I actually just had rate calculator open. 10 steel furnaces, 10 furnaces, electric furnaces making steel consumes just about 1 belt. If I push it to 11, it's just barely over a belt, which means that if I feed it with 4 belts, I can have 4 I can do 40. So, and on the other side of the coin, as far as the iron smelters go, if I feed it with just 1, then I can get 9. Because if I look at the belt consumption on this, it's 1.05 output. Input is less because I'm using these production modules, but I'm outputting just over 1 belt at 9. So what I've got going on here is I'm exploring Africa and clearing it out because I'm going to be building this space complex. And what I've worked out is that in order to be able to launch a rocket silo, I'm using Kirk's website over here, and I've got it set so what's it take 1 rocket silo, right? for space science how much rocket controls and all the things that it needs using these configurations. A link to this GitHub or this thing. Hang on a sec. I think that'll work. And so that's for one space science, and then this is for one rock or one satellite, right? So what I've designed here is using my other setups where I'm 12 beaconing each thing, and I'm using that in other places already. So I'm trying to make use of the same design parameters. What's it take to make a space complex? I'm calling it a space complex or a silo complex. What's it take to make that? And then I'm going to build a rail network around it that isolates the rail network traffic to only be in here, including this is going to be iron and this is going to be copper and then coal, oil and coal. Those will be on the periphery. And as you can see here in Africa, I've got, the rains have blessed Africa with lots of resources. So I'll put 3 or 4 of these in Africa, and then I will have them export their space science all the way to Iran, where the research is going to happen. So that there's not trains running all over the place. Their names are going to be localized to be like Africa 1, Africa 2, that sort of thing. So that the trains that are picking up ore here are only looking to deliver it in these places. I've done the same thing here with this speed module. Everything you see on the screen here is designed to support these 16 assemblers for these speed modules. Right? It needs 3 iron. It needs a certain amount of iron plate, needs a certain amount of copper. And so, and some oil. And you can see here, I've got one connection to the outside world for all of this. It's even got its own encapsulated fuel source. But all of the station names have like this symbol in front of them for like 3 speed modules. So that the trains don't try and seek outside. And if I could, I'd not even have this outside connection. But this one train needs to be able to get out. And because I needed that copper so that it's got to cross. But over here in science, and yeah, there's a lot of things, but you see they're all prefixed with the symbol science. So all of these trains are programmed to only go to science train stops. And so a similar thing happens here is that basically all of these trains are going to stay in this neighborhood. All right? I didn't make any loops. These were all, there's the main line. Yeah. So I'm wanting to do the same thing here and to minimize travel. So I plan to belt the output of rocket control units, low density structures, and rocket fuel. I plan to belt that into the rocket silo. And then the space science is going to get loaded onto a train. And the satellite is going to come in by train or by bot. I'm not sure just yet. Ultimately, it has to come in by bot because I can't get it into here any way other than bot. I can fiddle with it, but yeah, it's looking like that is what's going to happen there. So why would I have it belted when that's just going to fill up the belt? everything else is going to get delivered by train and then inter-train transfer. So I'm just using this as a workspace area, trying to figure out my patterns and layouts. And for the satellite, I figured out that this is what I need in the same concepts for a satellite. And so I'm playing Lego, if you will, with these components, placing them over here, and I'm going to build a single deposit, single pickup design where I'm dropping off the resources I need. I'm going to bring them down here and then split the living crap out of them. Or I might bot this. You know, I might have bots come and pick these up. It depends on how weird the belts go and whether or not bots can do for me better than what I would do otherwise. And the steel might end up coming down at the bottom because I don't need it coming through the top, which is the opposite of what I've done there. So the steel is getting consumed by low density structures and, well, that's there. Low density structures, and most of it, 78%, is going into solar panels. So if I go and grab the LDS that I need, which there's the LDS and the solar, and I pop that in here underneath the steel. So all the steel comes out and goes to these two. Most of it getting consumed here. Thanks, Narosto. So we're just basically doing this. So I should be able to replicate this here and here, but not like that. Clean all this out. Good. I'm just going to get rid of these for now. Now, you're not going to use all the steel. An LDS needs steel, copper, and plastic, which is 3 things. I thought I had an LDS build over here. Yeah. So 1 row of LDS is what I need for this. Because I've got 2 copper feeds coming in here. So we're also going to feed this out the bottom. Probably I'm going to balance these. How much LDS do I need? I need 3 and I've got 4 here. So just delete that. And this is 2 of them. And again, we're just going to flip the outputs on all of these. Can't forget my lamps, though. Of course, there is the question as to whether or not I should make these wide or tall. How high can I make LDS? Very tall. So why not do it that way? It's a lot easier to set up that way. Same thing here. I don't have a setup for satellite for solar panels. But to make a solar panel, I need 5, 5, and 15. So it's at least 3. I might as well make it a 4. Because I don't think this is going to overwhelm that. So let's change this to satellite, or to solar panel. Add these in here. And ask rate calc. Yeah, we're fine. We can do 2 of these, not take up a full belt. We're going to be doing 2 of those anyway, so that's good. So I might as well do the same thing with the other things. You just need 2 things. You're the accumulator. So the accumulator is only going to get an A and a B. But we only need 2 of them. Yeah, that's up there with the batteries. Okay, you have finished your work here, huh? So that's the last of the horizontals. Everything needs to be redone to be verticals. That would be in the ocean, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna ignore the belts for now and consider just maybe I make this just a bot-based build. I'm pretty sure you're just a single belt. Satellites, on the other hand, are a little more, or radars. There's three things. So you're an ABC. I could make it 4 if I wanted to. Don't need to because it's not really high performance, but it would go like that. This is looking more and more like a bot-based build. I will take all of these, merge them. Like in the middle here. I had to figure out that power problem. That would be red chests, I bet. Wouldn't want them to be buffer chests. Hey, cheese. I've done some designing. How are you? I don't think I can balance this here. I don't think I have room for it. Well, technically I do. If I'm okay with this grabbing from there. What do you think? Is it safe for an inserter to grab from a that? Yeah. Okay, cheese. I designed a space complex. All of this is necessary to launch one rocket silo, to satisfy one rocket silo. I just need to lay out the rails and the topography, if you will. Right now, I'm looking at building a satellite from a single satellite per minute to satisfy one rocket silo. There's Faceless. Yay. That makes my day. All right, so let's continue designing. I kind of just decided that I am definitely going to be botting this build, so might as well continue that way. So if we assume the iron is going to go here, I still don't like the idea of putting bots everywhere. All right. See what this sounds like. How can I deal with this? Well, I could do it just like I do the other one. Well, that's short-sighted there. Yeah, that's not quite gonna work there, is it, huh?